This month's TV 47 Star Student of the Month from Fayetteville School is brought to you by State Representative Ron Johnson and Curtis and Son Funeral Home.
And we welcome Alana Combs this morning. Alana, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here this morning. Tell us all about yourself.
Well, I'm a 9th grader at Fayetteville High School. I'm 14 years old and I do a lot. I participate in FBLA, Key Club, Focus. The Chromebook crew was something I recently became a part of, where I get to help teach our high school on our digital learning day. And I'm the president of our high school FBLA level, and I'm in our Fayetteville High School band, and I play snare drum.
Fantastic. Alana Combs, 14-year-old 9th grade at Fayetteville. What's it like in a day at Fayetteville School for a freshman?
Well, it's fast-paced. We have 4 classes a day, except on Mondays we have 7 classes, and we have fun with it. We learn, but we make it fun. My very first class of the day is my career prep class, and we do stuff like yesterday we had mock interviews, and we had to get dressed up and we had to go and interview with someone from a business that came out and see if we would actually make it in the interview and if they would give us the job. And just fun things like that where we can learn, but we can have fun.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people talk about how they love Fayetteville School and the campus and the community. Obviously, your feelings are like that too.
Yes, sir. We're very together. We know everybody. We love each other. If there's somebody new, they just feel pretty much welcome. Mm-hmm. It's like we're one big family.
What about your family? Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I have my mom and dad, Anthony and April Combs, and my dad works at AT&T, and he's the manager there. And then I have a little brother who also goes to Fayetteville, and he's in 4th grade. And
what's his name?
Andrew.
Okay.
And
Andrew's here, and he's excited about being here.
Yes, sir.
You're in a lot of the clubs, and you're the FBLA president for the high school level. What does that kind of entail?
We have about 40 people in our high school level, which is FBLA is just where we can show our leadership skills. And thankfully, I was able to be our middle school president. So when I ran for high school president, a lot of the people that moved up with me, they felt that I would still help, that I would be at all our events, and that I would always know the information about the events. And that's basically what I do.
Alana Combs, our Star Student of the Month. She's a freshman at Fayetteville School. You're very musically inclined and talented too. Talk about that with the band at Fayetteville.
Well, we have our MPA coming up, which is like a competition during concert season. And being a percussionist, I get the chance to play a lot of different instruments, where I basically play snare drum this year. I played that in the marching band, but we put a lot of work into it. I have her class for 2 hours, 3 days a week. And then any other time that I need to go in there, I practically have a free period on the other days, and I can go in there and work on stuff. We put a lot of after-school time into it, and have some time to bond. Coming up, we have a time for just the band members to get to know each other better, because the better we know each other, the better we can play and be well together.
Being a freshman at Fayetteville High School, you got to be excited about the next 3 years too.
Yes, sir. I've heard a lot from some people older at our school of what I have to come, and I'm excited for it.
I bet you are. Now, one of several things that jumped out at me off the bio is you are 14 years old, but yet you teach children's. You're involved in children's ministry at your church. What about that?
Yes, sir. I have a older person, of course, that comes in there with me, but she's only 20. Mm-hmm. So we work together.
So y'all are young, right?
Yes, sir. We're the youngest teachers, and I get to go in there. I help with the lesson. She prepares it, but I help teach it. And we read out of a book, but we know the kids very well because we're a small church. So it's nice to be able to know the kids, know what they like, then coming up with games and trying to get them interactive with it. I also lead a student-led Bible study at Fayetteville. Every morning the kids are given a choice to come, and if they do choose to come, then we prepare like a 10-15-minute lesson, me and several other kids. We go day to day, and we choose who's going to teach the next day.
Now, your family attends what church now?
Full Gospel Tabernacle in Talladega Springs.
Brother Joe Kelly, the pastor there. And, you mentioned about leading a prayer time for the students, and it's all about choice. If they choose to, fine. If they don't,
yes,
okay.
Sir. I had a kid come up to me yesterday, and he was like, well, I know her from Bible study. So I know it makes all of us older kids that participate happy to get to know the kids even more, because we don't get a lot of time with the younger ones as you get into high school. But in the Bible study, we get to learn more about them and learn more what they like so that we can apply to their lives when we teach.
Alana Combs, a freshman at Fayetteville High School, is our Star Student of the Month. Alana, what about your future after high school? You looked at that at all?
Yes, sir. I hope to work with kids and change kids' lives in some way. I've been looking towards education, elementary education, whether it's a counselor or a teacher or maybe one day a principal. Mm-hmm. But I hope to work with kids in that aspect.
Fantastic. Now, outside of all the things you're involved in the school and church, what do you like to do yourself?
I like to hang out with my friends. We'll go over to one person's house and watch movies or just talk or play board games, or sometimes we go out and shop or whatever we can just to have fun.
Fantastic. Alana Combs, who is a freshman at Fayetteville High School. She is our Star Student of the Month. She's very active in her school with many of the clubs, and she leads a student-led Bible study, and recently named part of the school's Chromebook crew. What's that about?
Well, today actually I get to work with a Sphero, which is like you have to code it to work with your computer. And we do little things like that make it fun to learn about technology. What we're going to do on Digital Learning Day, we're going to go through high school class to high school class, me and my partner, and we're going to teach our high schoolers how to use the fun parts of technology, such as a 3D printer. We're going to teach them how to use that, and then a Sphero and just other cool things like that.
Who are maybe a couple of people or so that has really, at 14 years old, has made a real impact in your life?
Well, one of my teachers, who isn't my teacher anymore, but Coach Phillips, Morris Phillips, he, if I ever need anything or need somebody to go talk to during my school day or just need some help with something, then I know I can go down to his classroom and he can help me out, or need somewhere to put something, or he's always there for me, even though I haven't had him in 2 or 3 years.
What are some of the pressures, challenges maybe would be a better word, a freshman, 14-year-old young lady like yourself deals with?
Being seen as too young. A lot of my friends don't think that it's that big of a deal to do some of the stuff that I've done, but I see it as a big deal, and sometimes I go a little farther, and they don't understand the point of that because we're only in 9th grade. Fantastic.
Alana Combs, who is a freshman at Fayetteville High School, 14 years old, is our Star Student of the Month. And when you're in the band on the football field on a Friday night, doesn't get much better than that, does it?
No, sir.
Your band efforts, did you just want to get started in that, or how did that work out?
I got to try, they let the students go try every instrument in our 6th grade year, and it started to be 5th grade this year. But I went to try the flute, and that didn't work out really well. So I tried the drums, and there was an older kid there, and he showed us a really cool rhythm on the snare drum, and now I can play that rhythm. And me and my very best friend, we both joined percussion because of that older kid helping us out, showing us the cool rhythm, showing us the cool stuff you can do with the snare drum, and it made us both love it.
Fantastic. Alana Combs, our Star Student of the Month and finalist this morning. Thank you so much for being with us this morning, Sherry. As you complete your freshman year, I mean, we only got a couple more months left being a freshman, how would you want people, maybe other students, to think of you as you leave your freshman year, and even though it's in the same school building, but you're going from freshman year to sophomore in high school, how would you like the younger students to see you as you step forward?
I'd like them to see me as a leader, but someone they can come talk to, someone that they trust, but they know at the same time. So as I go into my 10th grade year, I'd like the younger ones to realize that it's not hard to change the way things are, because it doesn't matter how young you are, even if they're like in 5th, 6th grade, that they can still make a difference.
Okay. Alana Combs, who is a freshman, 9th grader at Fayetteville High School, 14 years old. Alana, thanks for coming this morning, and continued success.
Thank you.
More Daybreak coming up right after this.
This Star Student of the Month has been brought to you by State Representative Ron Johnson and Curtis and Son Funeral Home. Tune in to Daybreak for your Star Student of the Month.